How about my voice? Can you hear me narrating? Can you hear me running my mouth? If you can hear me talking, say, yes, I can hear you talking. Stop, please. How about my voice? Can you hear me narrating? Can you hear me running my mouth? If you can hear me talking, say, yes, I can hear you talking. Stop, please. Perfect. How about the music now? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to leave the music on for a while just to make sure you're hearing what I'm hearing from the game. How about the music now? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to leave the music on for a while just to make sure you're hearing what I'm hearing. Okay, we'll get settled in here. Purpose of this video stream is to give you another look at modern naval warfare, the Virginia-class submarine. And some of the things you can do with it. First, let's dive the boat. Gotta have to make sure your bow planes are extended and unlocked. You can go to your mast tab, which actually has your ballast tanks. You can begin by opening your ballast tanks. And you can see they vent. That's a nice effect. But we still have to set a new depth and we need to increase speed. So let's set us for 60 meters, 60 feet rather. And accelerate. Now this does take a little longer than dangerous waters or subcommand for the sub to get under the water. But with a nuclear submarine, I don't think you're ever getting a crash dive situation. You generally spend all your time underwater. Now, if anyone has any questions that I can help with, I don't know everything about everything, but I'm definitely here to answer questions and show off parts of the game that you may want to see more of. So it looks like my dive officer's taking me below the depth that I asked for, but he's probably going to level me out, bring me back up to periscope depth. Thank you, Scrapper. You can't hear me, Brown? You can't hear me, but other people can. Aye, aye, Captain, he says. Okay, Round Brown, you can hear me, yes or no? I once was a pineapple under the sea. That's better. Yes, James, I have experienced that. If you have your total ray extended and you go too fast, I have no idea where the threshold is, but you can lose your total ray. Probably has something to do with your maneuvering too, but that isn't specifically spelled out, so it's the kind of thing where you have to kind of be judicious about how fast or how much maneuvering you do with your TA out. You know, I thought about that last night, getting my sub destroyed. I want to see what the death screen looks like, too. That's a great idea. Maybe we'll be the first ones to do it. Should we do it now? Or should we do some other stuff first? No, I haven't died. The AI in this pre-release build is turned off, I think, because they never react or attack me. I'm sure that the version that you buy from Steam will be fixed. Or not fixed, I mean, I'm sure it works. They wouldn't get this far if it didn't work. But I've never had any kind of AI reaction. I don't see any enemy ships at this point. I think we're in alone. Right now, I haven't seen any enemy submarines, Potato. They are not part of any of the missions I've seen so far. And again, it's important to remember that I've got what they call the press release, I guess. It's basically a minimalized version of the game. It doesn't have everything. One vote for chaos. Yeah, buddy. 10,000 feet. Oh my God. You guys are maniacs. I haven't looked at the seabed. I'm not even sure how to look at the seabed. I guess I can go to my 3D view. Okay, so we got some lively people here. Let's see how deep it is right now first. Oh, it's not deep enough for us to do anything. Hey, Red Guard, I see your question. Can I raise the periscope at any speed, and are there actual speed limits to avoid damage? I haven't tried that yet. For some reason, whenever I'm using the periscope, I'm always at 1/3 or less. But if I want to wreck the periscope, I can try it and see. That way we'll know, won't we? Dr. Dystopia, my man. Thanks. Good to see you here. Okay, so we can't exceed crush depth. What else can we do? I think I'll start a new mission, and that way we can select deep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Almost screwed everything up. Could die by hitting the seabed, maybe. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's see here. All right, so you should be able to see the main menu now. Let me know if that's what you're looking at. You've got different settings, your gameplay settings. I don't think I've changed any of these. I'm not sure. Graphic settings. My graphic card is a 2060 Super, and you can see my GPU and all that information up there, I think. Now, I don't think the full mission editor's ready yet. Or either it's not ready yet, or they didn't include it on my version. I'm not sure which, but I know that is important to them because that's going to give you a lot of different campaigns to play instead of one branching. You'll be able to have like as many branching as people can make. So there you have a chance to look at some of this stuff. I've got a lot of this stuff turned off. Vegetation, I guess that means the weeds on the seabed floor. I don't know. I'll never look at it, so I don't care. As long as it doesn't slow my computer down too much. Enable buildings. I have no idea what buildings they're talking about, but I left it on just so I could see it. All right, so audio, and then your realism settings. And the one that's most useful, especially for testing, is procedure times. If you turn that off, things like the total array extend pretty quickly. I think the torpedo doors and the flooding, that cycles pretty quickly. If you don't, it's more like about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes between each step on the torpedo, and probably 15 or 20 minutes on the total array. Hey, James. Yeah, I've got a new graphics card on the way. Should be here probably in a couple weeks. It's a, I'm trying to remember what it is now. Hang on a second. Let me go and look. Think about that for a second. Let's see here. Boink. Boink. It is a... All right. It's an MSI Gaming RTX 5060 Ti with 16 gigabytes. I think the video card RAM is the thing that's slowing me down more than anything else. I think this thing would love more RAM. My current card is 8 gigabytes of RAM. There we go. There, I entered it in the chat, so possibly that will improve the game. I know there are people that have systems equal to mine, and they're definitely interested in how the game looks. So I did want to try it out like that first. I want to try out with my original specs. I've added 16 gigabytes to my computer, so now I have 32. And the game does use all of it. It helps the time compression. So, you know, these are the basic things. Your database, that's your all the ships that they've got in the system. I don't see any photos. Let's see here. There we go. There's your cargo carrier. Some of these are probably not in yet. There's a ship with a whole bunch of cargo containers. Looks like the Timu Express. I don't see anything there. Nothing there. Alright, so they don't have all the units loaded up. Well, they do have the Chinese units. Or Korean. Is that Chinese or Korean? I don't think Korean have anything modern, do they? North Korean? That's going to be helpful. Sonar returns. Nice. All right, let's go back to our main menu. All right, let's see what the comments are telling me. Total array is a little over 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's true. You don't have to deploy it all the way. That's true. AI is off, dumbed down, or nope. Redguard, as far as I can tell, AI is off. I haven't seen any kind of reaction to anything that I've done. So, I mean, it's a pre-release build. I do not know everything that's included and not included. So let's just assume that it's not included in the build that I have. All right. Campaigns. Right now, as far as I can tell, they have one campaign. It's called From Dusk Till Dawn, and it does seem kind of generic, at least in the beginning. I have played through 3 of the missions. I think 3 is all that come with the press build. And they're basically the same things. Go sink a ship. It'll be interesting to see if there's if there are like gameplay strategies in the campaign, things that maybe don't happen in real life, but make the game more interesting to play, like time limits, and you got to catch something in the shallow water, so you have to balance how fast you can go with being detected or running into the seafloor. Loadout screen. No, I don't think there is a loadout screen. Let me show you. Single missions, there are only 4 single missions. And they all seem very similar. They look like test missions. Blockade interdiction missions. Attack all enemy combatants. 3 to 5. Blah, blah, blah. Oceanic anti-submarine warfare. I don't know. There might be a submarine in this mission. I haven't tried this one. I think I tried the top 2. Mission type sub. See, none of these. I'm clicking on these, and none of these are available. Mission creator, none of these available. So yeah, they don't have this finished out yet, or at least it's not in this build. Don't panic. They're getting ready to release. I think they'll probably have everything. The go directly into action is what I spend most of my time on. Thank you, Dr. Dystopia. Appreciate that confirmation. Just 3 missions of the campaign so far. All right, so you have 1 versus 1. I'm not sure exactly what that means. They 1 versus 1. Now, me versus somebody. Maybe that's just 1 ship. Convoy hunt, which I've played a bunch. Cruiser strike's not available for me, and neither is Spec Ops. So let's stick with convoy hunt. You get convoy sizes. Somebody showed up over here. And then somebody showed up over here. That's a submarine for sure. And then random just gives you random. And you guys know me. I love random. Random is always great. Random is almost the same as, for me, a dynamic mission. You have stuff showing up. You don't know where it is. You have to find it. And every time you play it, it's random. So it will vary. I'm going to start off surfaced. And I'm going to start off with medium so we actually know what we've got. And the distance we'll keep at medium. I know if you do close, it's close, brother. You've got 3 types of subs you can pick. I always pick the Block 3 because the user manual and the tutorials that Wolfpack 345 did, those are all using this block. So the interface is slightly different for each block, or at least the first one and the third one. All right, so area, littoral, whatever that means, and deep. Let's go with deep. That relocates us, and now we can kill ourselves if we want. Civilian traffic. Now, one thing I don't know is civilian traffic always show up here, or is this just a representation of basically what you can expect? I don't know that yet. I'm going to put it down to low, time of day. I'm going to put today, and I'm going to leave the weather good because in bad weather you can't see anything, and it's not as much fun playing it with people watching. So this look good? Random at all, yeah. I have done it that way. That's what's really cool. I love that. Hey, Mr. Anderson, you're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Dr. Dystopia says there are not any opposition subs in this early build. Okay, good confirmation. Yeah, Scrapper, I don't think that ASW force allows me to do anything with them. I don't know. Like I say, I don't really want to speculate. That's not really what I'm here for. I can tell you what works and doesn't work. When the official game comes out, if you're not sure about it, just hold off on buying it, and you'll get a few more streams like this, and you can ask me to do anything you want within the bounds of YouTube limits, and I'll go through it. There's my fine crew. I've got some well representation going on there. And there's Bob. Bob is the best. We don't talk about it that much, but he always gets the first slice of cake. Hey, Davey. All right, so I have to put my mic down, so you may not be able to hear me as well. Just tell me if I'm too quiet. I'm going to go ahead and move around a little bit here. All right, extend my total array, do the fat total array, go to my steering. You can see my depth is 13 meters, so that means we're on the surface. And on the surface is not where we want to be. Well, James, we don't know how much it's going to cost yet. There's a lot of speculation that this might be a $100 sim. So it may not be a buy one, I mean a day one instant buy for a lot of people. Feet. What happened? You start going Quentin Tarantino on me now. I'm not showing you my feet, doctor. I'll open my valves and speed up and set my depth. There we go. We start going into the water. Okay, Davey. Cool. Yeah, no, rent Cal. I understand. Yeah, this is more like a demo. This is not the full game. It does let me do almost everything I need to do, but I can't say this is the full game. Dr. Dystopia, did I say the word meters? If I did, that's because I've been playing too much Wolfpack. All right, yeah, it is. It looks pretty good. The frame rate's a little low. I'm not happy with the frame rate. When I get that new video card, we'll find out how that looks. I do like how the water is not game water. You can see right through it. I think this is about what you should expect to see. I think it looks pretty good. I think the water could be better. But honestly, it's inside the control room that counts for me. All right, so I should be leveling out now. Yeah, you can see it. My keyboard volume is too high. Now, what does that mean? Keyboard as when I'm jamming on the keys, typing. Sorry about that, but you're probably right. Yeah, I think Dangerous Waters came out in 2005, so that's over 20 years. If the next one takes 20 years to come out, I won't be here. I'm pretty sure I'll be gone by then. Yeah, Scrapper. That is a fairly old graphics card. I think this computer's 5 years old. ChatGPT tells me my CPU is fine, but it said I needed a new graphics card and more memory, so I've got the more memory. All right, let's see. Let me get back to the game here. Dun, dun, dun. Now, one thing I like to use is the hotkeys. They speed everything up quite a bit. All right. To raise the periscope, you got two little knobs right here that look like flash drives. So that's one scope and that's the other scope. And this turns on your little panel. And this raises the mast. And I guess this is the fine-tuning knob over here. There we go. Dr. Dystopia seems to know the price is going to be less than $100. I have never asked, and I don't want to know, because some people get really irate about things like that. For me, it is what it is. They can put any price they want on it. It's up to me whether I want to buy it or not. If it was $600, I wouldn't buy it. $300, I wouldn't buy it. But $100, yeah, I'd probably buy it. Especially since it doesn't come around that often. Michael, everybody's asking me that question about going to max depth. You guys want to see me die, don't you? All right, let me go through the periscope stuff with you. You got a stabilizer button, which stabilizes it. You can change your scope colors, crosshair colors. You have black and white, which is good in low light, and you can also have thermal, which is good in no light or bad weather. And this is your boink, boink, your, what do you call it? Your zoom. It doesn't work with the mouse wheel, so you have to actually click the button. Now, some of these things you probably know as soon as you see them, but I'm going to explain them anyway. This indicates you're looking straight up your, this is the front of your submarine. And this little cone tells you the bearing you're looking at, your relative bearing, I guess. Is that right, Dr. Dystopia? So we can tell that this ship is off to our left a little bit, and he's moving pretty fast. Now, it is a little different from the other games, like Dangerous Water Subcommand, if I remember them right, as far as tracking contacts. Over here is your contact management interface, and this shuffles between the contacts that you've already indicated. As you can see, there are none. You have new. So let's take a look at this guy. We can tell he's a civilian, so we're going to click green. And we can tell his angle on the bow is about 280. And his speed, well, let's go with 10. Now, the range, this is so cool. You turn on your rangefinder, and then you hit him with your laser, point, and it gives you your range. And then you can mark him. Of course, you want to get your crosshair closer to here. You can mark him on your contact management system. Now, if you need to update it, as long as you have V1 indicated, you update it. You want to make sure, though, and this is something I learned the hard way, if you have two contacts, two targets, V1 and V2, that you don't update the information from one with the information of another one. I don't see any other contacts out here, so they must be too far away. All right, another cool thing is, and I really like this, V1, it marks on your scope where your contact is, or where you thought it was when you marked it. I totally love that. I'm gonna get another laser range. Watch up here for 66.99, 64. So he's coming closer. Mark him again. All right, I'm gonna look at the chat here. They charge 80 to 100 for the newest shooter games. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I think we all are guilty of the thinking of games costing $50 because they cost $50, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So, unfortunately, we have inflation. So, wonder, can the laser rangefinder be seen? I don't know, but I do know this. This is cool as hell too. This is a lot of fun. If you're using the thermal, when you click it, you actually get a laser indication. You see it. That's cool. So in the daytime, I don't know if they can see it or not. I imagine in real life, they'd have to be looking for it probably, because it only lasts for a split second. All right, I'm going to leave the periscope mast up. I don't see any enemy escorts. I'm not worried about them. Let's go to our pilot screen and change our heading. Our heading right now is 56. He's about 90 degrees to our port. So we're going to change this to 350. And we're going to leave our speed at 1/3. Now you can adjust your speed by the knots. If you want to, you can say all ahead 8 knots. Or make turns for 8 knots, whichever vernacular you like. Let's look at our sonar station. All right, we got lots of stuff going on here. I see a stab button at the top. Can you stabilize your... I'll have to take a look at that. I turn on stabilizer, but I don't really notice what it's doing. Now here's where your broadband starts off, right? You got broadband, narrowband, this one, demon analysis, your situational or active intercept. That's situational. That sound speed profile, which I never use. I don't know what it really does. Very important to remember that I never said I'm an expert at these games or at submarines. I'm just an enthusiast. This is your, what do you call it? Fathom meter, your depth meter. You switch this to feet. You click standby, and then you click continuous. And you wait a few seconds for it to home in on the range below you. And the scale seems to be dynamic. It changes with the with each sounding, but usually after the first few soundings, it'll even out and give you a pretty good, reliable depth under keel. Looks like we're deep enough we can go too deep if we need to. I like that. Throttling will give more power to maintain speed in turns, whereas turns for knots will give you screw turns to allow you to slow in turning. Oh, that's great. All these years I never really understood that. I'm going to have to copy this and put it in my tactics and tips. That's beautiful. Thank you, Doctor. All right, so there's our depth. This is plenty deep. We can add a tracker, and we can pick one of these things and mark it. We know we have one ship out there, and it's a cargo ship, so yeah, it should be loud, right? Well, the cargo ship's 6,000 meters, so that means it's not far away. It should be pretty loud. But we have two contacts here crossing each other, which completely puzzles me. But I'm going to mark it. And now we have S1. And I'm going to enter a description, which is nice because that's like a note you can put to yourself. Because if you're like me, once you have 3 or 4 V1, V2, V3s, a couple A1, A2s, some S1, S2, S3s, it can get confusing. There we go. Cargo ship. Let's see here. All right. We're going to move around. And we're going to go to our fire control station. All right. Now this screen, time bearing plot. I haven't used it very much. I don't really know what it does. I haven't seen anything in the user manual about how to use it, so that's something I'll have to come back to. But the TMA screen I am very familiar with from other games. Active sonar. I don't even know if I have active sonar in this game. Honestly, lone evilness. I haven't seen a ping button. It'd probably kill haul me if I used it. All right, so here's my drop downs for my contacts. V1 and S1 I think are the same contact. And I can merge them if I want, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to leave it alone. They're in the same ballpark. All right, so V1 should be pretty accurate because why? Well, I eyeballed it with my little eye through the periscope. The periscope knows the exact bearing, and I laser range finded it so it knows the range. So once I get 4 or 5 contacts by visual, I should have a good heading for the ship, which is my angle of the bow. Actually, my angle of the bow that I put in should generate a rough heading. So this should be a no-brainer type solution to put a firing solution on. So with V1, I'm going to apply this solution. Then I'm going to go to the torpedo tube layout. You have your port side, your starboard side, and your vertical launch missiles. Your port side can only have one door open at one time. Same with your starboard side. So once you fire a torpedo, as long as you want wire-guided information, you can't close that door and you can't fire anything from this side. It's too bad the Seawolf was had 4 doors on each side. But we only made 3 of those, didn't we, Doctor? All right. So let's warm up a torpedo. I like to start with tube 1. Tube 1, make the tube ready. Okay. Let's go back to, okay, now there's TMA on this button. And if you go to the tubes, there's a little TMA screen for the torpedo, which is a little confusing. But I'm assuming they made it that way in the real sub, so you just get used to it, brother. Okay, so tube 1, solution V1, because that's the only thing we've identified, V1. So I'm assigning tube 1 to V1. Bang. Now, he's assigned. Enable distance, you can make this whatever you want. Sometimes I like to make it closer to their range so they have a big surprise with no time to react. I'm going to go ahead and make it high speed because I don't want to waste a lot of time. I don't want this guy circling around and pinging me. This. Running depth, we'll make it 100 meters. Search depth, we'll make it 50 meters. Not that I know what that does. Seems like it would do something, but... And then you've got these controls here that I'm not real sure what they do either. I mean, once the torpedo's launched, does this turn on the active seeker? Does this initiate the search mode? I don't know for sure. I can guess. I've trial and errored it, but I still don't know well enough to say with any certainty. And the same with this. Does this switch the torpedo guidance from passive to active? I don't know. When the when the developers release the final game manual, I'm sure all this information will be explained. Do I have any idea what V1 is yet? Are we blasting and asking questions later? Yes, we're definitely blasting and asking questions later. I have no idea what V1 is. It's an evil Temu carrier. Let's go back to our photonic mask and get a new bearing on it. Okay, V1 says it's up here now. So let's move our scope. Whoa, I saw somebody there. Okay, V1 is no longer here. He's moved. Yep, that makes sense. Because he's underway. So my last V1 and Sierra 1 were where a few minutes ago and back in time. All right, so now my ID is still V1. That's good. He is moving fast too. I'm going to go ahead and get a range on him. 5,500 yards. That means he's coming closer to us. I'd say the angle on the bow is still about 280, close enough. Speed is 10. We're going to change him to a hostile ship and mark him. Now you can see the V1 moved here, from there to here, because I have a new piece of information. And he's passing by us pretty quick too. So let's go update our torpedo solution. F9. All right. Now there's my first few contacts, and there's the last one. So he's over here now, not there. Or is he? Dr. Dystopia, come in and tell me what to do here. Guide me. If I update that and apply. Now that's where I think he is, because the scope showed he was over to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and fudge this a little bit more and put him where I think he was. Go back to my tube, go back to my, okay, this tube is ready. We'll flood it. You marked him as an aircraft. Oh, well, that makes sense. I got it upside down, didn't I? Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I probably did. Okay, go back to my Mark 48 TMA screen. I still have all the same information, but I'm still going to click Assign Solution. All right, we're going to see what happens here. Open the door. Let me get my beautiful screen in place here. This is about as good as you can see it. Right there. All right. And fire. And there goes my torpedo. That's beautiful. I like that. Okay. Dystopia tells me pull the front of the router where he is. The back is where you know he was. That should be close. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's kind of what I thought. But without documentation to tell you how things work, it's just my guess. And I learned how to play most of this game by trial and error. Okay. So tube 1 has a running wire. So you don't want to close that door. We're going to go back to our Mark 48. And we see tube 1, visual 1, torpedo on the way. And if this is correct, if he's really here, I got this close, then the torpedo should actively intercept him. But if the torpedo goes right by him, that means he's not here. He's over here or here or here. That tricky bastard. All right, go back to our TMA screen. All right, I got the TMA showing he's at 16.5 knots based on this information. Now, it seems like my first marks would be down here because that's where I first saw him. And that makes him 9 knots. Now, this is another question. I don't know. Do I hit apply again? I don't know. Does that update this? I don't know. But I'm not going to mess with it. We're going to try it without applying it. Always, Dr. Dystopia says, always click Assign Solution again when you change solution. Updates the weapon. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping you'd say. Video encoding is not very nice to the external screen. Okay, not sure what that means. Can you explain that? Yeah, there is in-game documentation available. It's a PDF file. They updated it with a newer one that's got a little more information, but it's not comprehensive. That tells you what every button does and so on. I think that's going to, unless they've got another one coming that's comprehensive, I think you and me and Dr. Dystopia are going to have to put a little time into creating some additional user documents to help out new players. Where's the countdown clock? It's right here, but it's not. It doesn't have it in this build. All I have is a clock. The next build should give me a countdown clock, a backwards timer. All right, let's see here. Okay, Dystopia, you're saying I can steer the torpedo, improve solution, press assign. All right, let's look. Not here, right? Not in TMA, but you're talking about in here. I can change this and press assign with new information. Okay, so time to impact is a minute. So I'm going to reset this, play it, and according to this, more or less, I should see a minute when we have victory. Yeah, the countdown clock, that's something they're adding. I saw a screenshot of it, and it'll show up right here. We can do it with this, though. We just have to remember it's counting up, same number of seconds. All right, I'm going to put my mic down so I may be a little quieter. Where's V1? Whoa. Uh-oh, that's trouble. He wasn't invited to this. There's V1. All right. V1. You know what's going to happen, brother. I'm sorry to do this to you. But these guys are bloodthirsty wolves in here. We need some tonnage. All right, should be coming close to a minute now. If my solution is right, we should see something happen. Don't see anything happening. Either he's further away or my torpedo has to make some changes to its course. As soon as I go to the torpedo screen, it'll probably hit. Let's find out. Damn, close. Right on him. There we go. Impact. Hit that guy. A whole lot of Amazon shipments are not going to make their way now. Probably be my graphics cards among them. Oh, he's settling hard by the stern, isn't he? Bingo. Okay. Well, we have something else to do. Let's go back to V1. Now, V1, I'm going to take it off the contact because he's gone. So I click this right here, and you'll see V1, and V1 will disappear. Bam. Clear my screen. I totally love that. Now, let's go find this guy. He's going to see what happened, and he's not going to be too happy. Okay, we need a new contact. It's already queued up. We're going to range find him. Boink. He's pretty far away, but not terrible. He looks like a 90 angle on bow, and a speed, we'll just give him a 10. And tell me if I got this right, but that's an enemy surface ship, right? I'm dyslexic when it comes to shapes. Bang, now we have V2. V2. I can barely see him from this range. Now we're going to lower the scope because I'm nervous. That guy has guns. All right, we go back to our tubes and we can close the door and load. And it'll happen pretty quickly. Turn this off. Okay, 7th from the left. Diamond is the surface in the middle. 7 from the left. Let's take a look at that. Diamond is the surface in the middle. That one. Okay, got you. What is this one? I thought that was submarine. Diamond is surface. Okay. I usually don't pay much attention to the symbols. Got to get a new... I'll tell you what, let's see if we have this icon on our TMA and then we change it. We'll see if it changes that icon. Where was I? Back to the torpedo. Okay, so the loadout happens real fast. So we're just going to use tube 1 again, get it ready. We're going to go to our TMA, back up. All right, so right now it's looking at Sierra 1. We don't care about Sierra 1. We care about Visual 2, because we know that's the escort, and that's the icon it's showing me. Great. All right, it's showing almost no speed, but we know it's going faster than that, probably. But we get another bearing here, we'll have a better range idea on the speed. Okay, so that's our TMA. We're going to apply it. Maru Shu Jacob said, man, you have a long enough username. I'm going to call you Bob. Classification icons, left blocker aircraft, middle surface, right or submarine. Perfect. I can remember that. So it's the middle one. Left is aircraft, then surface, then submarines. Left to right from height to depth. Okay, so we have one bearing on him here. We'll wait a few minutes and we'll get another one. Now his little icon is represented based on this information. How fast I say he's going, the angle on the bow, how it helps determine his heading, his course. So he's going here if he's actually going 8 knots. But if he's going slower, he's still here. If he's going faster, he's up here. We'll find out in a minute. All right, so tube 1 we made ready. We're going to go here. We're going to switch back to tube 1. And we're going to switch to Visual 2. And we're going to assign. We know he's at least 12,000 meters away, or yards. So we're going to set this for 6,000. And I don't have any patience, so I don't care if he hears it or not. He's not going to do anything. And we're going to switch this to Snake. We'll get all fancy on his ass. Doctor, you got to go. Be right back. I was just about to ask you an important question. Does running depth and search depth make any real difference? I don't know. There's a guy named Jive Turkey who does videos. He is an ex-submarine man, and he knows this stuff like the back of his hand. That's the guy you want to talk to or watch his videos to learn the real specifics on how this stuff works. I know from playing games and reading a few books and going on board a few submarines. Rent-A-Cow says I should increase my bearing rate to get a more accurate solution. Yeah, increase my bearing rate's a good idea. So by that, I either got to change course or speed up, slow down, he says. I'm not sure if I want to do any speeding up and slowing down. But it's just practice, right? Okay, tube 1, made ready. We have tube 1 assigned to V2, so we're good there. We got this all set. I think I've clicked that. All right, let's do that. Let's increase our bearing rate. Let us speed up. Oh, I don't want to do that with the scope up, though. We're going 8 knots. Let us speed down. Drop down to about 5 knots. Running depth is the depth it'll keep before it hits the enable distance. Okay, yeah, so the main thing is if I set it for 300 running depth and if it gets real shallow like a sandbar, it's going to plow into the sandbar. I guess the advantage of having a deep running depth is maybe it's harder for the enemy to hear as it approaches. Hard to say. Hard to say. Don't need bearing rate when you're getting range information. That makes sense. Getting range, and I can tell his AOB. How many minutes have passed? Let's see here. Where's the clock? There's the clock. Okay. We're going to change the lighting in here. And we're going to change it to preset 2. Man, I think maybe we'll change it to preset 3. I don't really see any difference. I thought maybe I don't have preset. Maybe I don't have preset set yet. I can't remember if I set them or not. All on, all off. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, that's a little cozier. Now we can light some candles. Okay, time to get a new visual bearing. He's not there anymore. Let's see, if I remember right, he was going this way, wasn't he? Yeah. I don't know if that's him or not. That is not him. Where is him? That is not him. Is this time for me to yell smoke on the horizon? Where did he go? V2, where are you? Whoa, there he is. I'm not sure exactly what changed, but there he is. Okay. First thing you want to do, as always, make sure you have V2 selected. I do. Now I can get a range. Boink. He's getting a little further out. Maybe I'm going faster than he is because he seems to be falling behind me. Angle of the bow is still 90, more or less. Let's make it 100. And let's change the speed to 5. And we're going to change this to this. And we're going to get lined up on him and mark. Boink. And now we see it drop down to here. And while we're here, since we got some new toys to play with, look around for that cargo ship. Whoa, there he is. Okay. All right, pay attention. Here we go. New tracker, right? Try to get him right on the hull. Hit the range finder. He's even further away. Angle of the bow, I don't know for sure. I'm going to say 90. I'm going to leave the speed about the same as the other guy. And this is a surface neutral, let's just say, contact. Now we have V3, V2 and V3. Because remember, we took V1 off the map after we sank him. All right, lower this. Go back to here. All right, so there's V2 and there's V3. This is our torpedo assignment. So I'm going to take tube 2 and assign it to V3. Well, I can't do it yet. I have to go to my TMA. There's TMA. All right, so we'll select V3, him, and we're going to say cargo 2. We're going to call him, we'll call him cargo 2. Bearing, range, speed. We know he's going faster than that. We're going to give him 5 knots. All this, now we apply it. Boink. And now we should be able to go back. Tube 2 assigned to V3 and assign the solution. He's 16,000 meters away, which is almost the same as 16,000 yards. So we're going to say 10,000. This is going to be low. I'm just going to put circle left for the fun of it. Running depth, I'm going to leave it 300. Search depth, I'm going to put back to 50 because we know he's on the surface. Okay, so we have tube 1 assigned to V2. Tube 2 assigned to V3. Tube 1 is made ready. Tube 2 is going to be made ready. Go ahead and flood the tube and open the doors. I got my finger on the trigger. I know I should do some more TMA just to check, right? But I probably won't. Yeah, I probably will. I'll do one more on him. If we switch back to V2, the TMA on V2, we think he's here. But if he's not moving, if he's going 0 knots, then he's still here. That's what worries me, because my visual shows he's still here. I don't know. Not sure what to do here. I'm going to change him to 1 knot. Now I'm supposed to line these up, but it doesn't change in real time while you're moving the arrow. So you have to donk around with it a whole lot. Go ahead and play with it, see what happens. Hey, that looks a little better. I don't know if that guy's actually moving. I mean, in real life, would a destroyer or a frigate be sitting idle in the water? Probably not. But in a game that's just a press build, yeah, maybe. All right, I'm going to reapply this. Boink. That's where he is. V2, you're there. Go back to my tubes. Go back to my TMA screen. Boink. Tube 2, V3. No, we want tube 1, V2. That one. We're going to apply the solution. So tube 1, V2 is set up. Tube 2 on V3. I want to get another bearing before I launch that one. I want to have 2 tubes in the water at once. So let's get another bearing, because I'm in a hurry. All right, he's moved a little bit, so he's not sitting still. He is so far away. If I miss him with the torpedo, I will shoot him with a missile. Okay, so it's V3. That's important. Range, about the same. Angle on the bow, probably a little different, but I'm going to leave it that. Mark. Okay, we'll go back to our TMA. TMA. Go back to V3. V3. All right, I like that. I like that. He looks like he's more like this now. That lines these up. So we're going to apply this. And I'm pretty good at feeling pretty good about this. Let me look at the comments. I haven't been paying any attention to comments. Running depth. Don't need the bearing rate when get information. It could be easier, harder when deep. Okay. Are we still live? Somebody tell me yes or no. I can stop talking if we're not live for some reason. Are we still live? Okay, thank you, Mershu Jacobson. Jack Wall, still live. Now I know I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, so I know we've had a good solution on him. I think we have a good solution on him, because I don't think he's moving. But let's just do this. Let's say he's not moving, and we feel comfortable he is moving. TMA says he's about right here now at his current speed. Yes, still live. Good. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and fire, because I'm just that kind of guy. Tube 2 is assigned to V3. Tube 1 is assigned to V2. Arm. Fire. There we go. Torpedoes on the way. Beautiful. Now we can also take a look at whatever the hell's out there. Oh man, I hope that's not an American flag on that ship. I'll be in deep trouble. There's another one, or the same one. Looks like a different one. I think that's our target. That's the guy I think's just sitting still. That guy apparently is moving. He's got a wake. Wouldn't you say he's moving? And that's torpedo number 1. And that's the guy I sank. beautiful. Let's see here. We'll go to our photonic mast and back up the zoom a little bit. So we got something coming at him at slow speed, and we got something coming over here to this guy at high speed. This guy must be moving a little bit because, no, I guess that's me that's moving, because he's still pretty much sitting in the same place. I don't even need a range. I'm just going to mark him. Oh, got to change this first. Don't forget to change this. V2, right? That's something everybody's going to have to get used to. I don't know if it worked that way in dangerous waters. Mark. Because if you have V3 selected and you mark him, then V3 is going to show up over here. And you're going to be all kinds of confused. I'm going to need to go fire up dangerous waters and see if that's the way it worked. Okay, V3 should be right about here somewhere. Barely see him. There's V3. There's not a guy behind him, right? No. So V3, buddy, you're right there. Dangerous waters magically assigned a bearing like to the right V contact. Yeah, I kind of thought it was different. The one thing that I had to learn real quick was you have to be very careful what this is selected to here when you're changing things. And the same goes for this. You got to remember which tube, which target, because you can get that all kinds of wrong. Tube 1 is V2, tube 2 is V3. There, my torpedoes are going in the right direction at least, so this is going to look pretty good on my record. Same thing here. You've got a drop down for all kinds of TMA stuff. Now that's the TMA for that sound contact. I never went back and updated it. I don't care about it. I don't know for sure exactly how to delete it. I think I go back to the sonar station and I can delete this information, delete that track, and now I don't have any sonar contact showing in my TMA. Yeah, Sierra 1's gone now. That's nice. Clean things up a little bit. Thank you, Skullboy. I appreciate that confirmation about dangerous waters. All right, these torpedoes are taking their ever-loving time. We're going to try the time compression here. Now watch the RAM. I have, oh, there it is there. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM now. All my earlier videos had 16. We'll go to 2x. Now see, it dropped me out of time compression even at 2x. So yeah, time compression is limited in this game. Frames per second, it's dropping down to almost nothing, and it kicks out. But you do get a little time compression. It's just when the RAM loads up all the information, it stops. Go to 4x. Dropped out. Yeah. That's all you get with that. All right, now, that escort, if it's not moving and it's right here, we ought to be hitting it. This guy, I'm pretty comfortable saying he's moving. I think I made a speed estimates on him that were not true. Well, we'll see in a minute. Torpedo seems to be activated. It's doing something. Hopefully it's not going to go in circles. I had one torpedo chase me. The goal of this mission is to wreak havoc. And we've been doing pretty good so far. We've sunk one cargo ship. And we've got TMA settled what we think is an enemy warship and another merchant. We have 2 torpedoes in the water just to see if we can get close. I forgot to set the timer. This guy ought to be coming up in a few seconds. Whoop, wrong button. Yeah, he's right on top of him. Right on top of him. Let's see what happens. That'll teach him for sitting in the middle of the ocean, not moving. Go ahead and take a photograph of him. There we go. Bingo. Let's take another picture. Send it to the wife and kids. We got that guy. We got that guy. I don't know if he's finished, though. He may still be surfaced. All right, let's go back to... We can ignore the TMI. This guy's going to take a long time to get. We ignore this guy. Let's see. Torpedo... All right, V3. This is tube 2 on V3. That's V3, so that's weapon 2. The time to impact is about 6 more minutes. Beautiful. Let's go take a... Oh, first we can do this. Tube 1, wire disconnected. Good. We can close the door, flood the tube, make another weapon ready. And in the meantime, I'm going to load a harpoon on this side. W2 is set to start circling about halfway to. Okay. Gotcha. All right, we're going to make this a harpoon. And in case you just joined this video, I do have the realism settings set to where this stuff happens real fast. You can set it for realistic and it takes a minute or 2 for each of these things to happen. All right, we're going to get our harpoon ready. Now, let me see here. Harpoon. This is the, what's this called? Mission Planner. That's right, Mission Planner. All right, so anti-surface missile 1 mission, new mission. All right, at altitude, we're just going to put 100 meters, our feet. We got different ones here. HAM pop up. I'm just going to leave it on HAM. And coordinates, we're going to click here or click new. And then we're going to click here and here. Nope, that didn't work. We're going to click here and next. And we'll make them turn. That didn't work either. Damn, I don't know what I'm doing. Click here and new. There we go. And then we're going to do another one. Bring on around. There we go. Make it look fancy. We're going to save this mission. We're going to go to our, what are we looking for here? Harpoon screen. We're going to go here. Tube 3, ASM1 mission, assign the mission. There, we're going to go back to the tubes, flood it, open the door. Going to get our periscope situated here, make it look cool. To the front of our ship. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, let's hope this is right. Open our door and fire. This is cool. What's happening over there? Oh yeah, baby. Now that is a sight. The only problem, it marks our location to anyone that wants to give us problems. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, so we know we can't see this sucker flying, but we can cheat. Not you, you. Oh yeah, baby. Let's see if I get anywhere near this guy. It'll be a miracle. I see a ship. I hope that's the one I was aiming at. It's hard to tell. It doesn't give you an exact information of when a ship gets hit. You can't hear it. I think that's the one, though. The other one's further away. I like that crap, man. Oh, baby. Everybody's jumping overboard fast. Look out. Here it comes. Boom. Booyah. High definition. How system intensive will this game be? It is pretty system intensive. I've got to post my system specs in here somewhere. I should post it in the description. I will do that. I promise. I promise. I promise. Let me go find them real quick. So he doesn't look like he's sunk though, does he? Let's see here. Won't let me put all that information in. We'll cut that. There we go. That's my current system specs. Except I have 16 gigabytes of RAM in this PC now. Ship models look pretty good. I like it. I like that big hole too. Oh, I don't see anything. Oh, it's above water. Okay. All right. Let's go to, I think we had another torpedo in the water. Running wire. Yeah, we do have a torpedo in the water. Where is he? He's working his way. He's in search mode. That might screw everything up. V2 is that first ship that we hit, that frigate, I believe. Jack Wall. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM computer memory. Yes. I think I need to update this. Yeah, I need to change that. Give me a second here. Is the microwave going off or do we have a problem? There it is, active interstate. Yeah, we got pinged. I assume that pinging was our torpedoes circling around looking for the ship. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm not afraid of them. Everybody wants to see what happens when you die anyway. You know, it's either this or it's the damn smoke alarm that wakes me up every night. Something's always giving me this kind of crap. Yeah, there you go. 32 gigabytes of RAM. $50 off of eBay. You just got to make sure you have a buyer who's got a real high reputation, a lot of sales, and you make sure that the memory he's offering to sell fits your computer. Use ChatGPT, it'll help you. All right, let me go back to the game here. Can ignore all this, but that sure looks cool, doesn't it? That stopped. That must be the guy we hit. All right, let's go back to F9. We still have a torpedo in the water. Okay, we're going to disable the torpedo. Disable. Tube 2, weapon 2. Disable, man. He's never going to do anything. There ought to be a shutdown mode. He's too far away from this guy, I guess. All right, let's switch him to passive sonar and ignore him. Let's go back and look at our tubes. You're welcome, Jackwall. Okay. Dr. Dystopia, I am going to take a shot at doing that. That's beautiful. All right. Let's update the solution. And we'll go here. Go here. This is tube 2 we're talking about. Tube 4. Uh-oh. Tube 2 is still hooked onto the wire, isn't it? No, it's not. Not anymore. I didn't do that, I promise. I didn't get a chance to steer my torpedo. But I am going to try it, Dr. Dystopia. I'm going to try your solution. Just have to shoot another torpedo. Tell you what I need to do. I need to get a lot closer. Let's see. Everything's loaded. Torpedo, torpedo, harpoon, harpoon. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to go over here. We're going to sit down. We're going to lower all masts. And we're going to increase our depth to 350. And we're going to speed up a little bit. Then we're going to go to our main map table. And we need to turn left a little bit to close the range. So we're going to change our heading from 350 to 325. All right, depth is decreasing. All masts are down. Total array looks like it's still okay. All right, now we're going to go to our map table. And this should be about here to here. About 4 nautical miles. Now we're going to try and increase our time compression. Start with 2. Okay, 2's rolling so far. Where's our clock? 2 stopped. We're going to try 2 again. The RAM is 24 gigs. It's holding 24 gigs, but it's still dropping out. So I don't get time compression very well. I don't know what's the limiting factor here. I was told it was the RAM, but I've got 32 gigs of RAM. Now the frames per second drops, but that's okay in time compression. I don't care about that because I'm not going to go walking around the sub or try to look through the periscope when I'm at time compression. I wonder if it might make more sense for the developers to consider a, what do they call it? A teleport or a jump. Like you set a setting and you say you want to move your ship from here to here within limits. And if everything in the game is okay, you're not going to land on top of a destroyer. It just resets you a new position. That would be pretty cool. The ray tracing needs GPU cycles. Can you explain that, Doctor? We're going to go ahead and speed up a little more since we're getting deeper. Oh yeah, we're going to go faster. And hopefully we don't run into anything. We got lots of depth. We're okay. Good, 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 good. That doesn't need... Let's see here. Seeing how far I can stand and still click into the station. Okay, we're going to go full and see if we still have a total ray. But I sure wish I could go faster here. Hey, duty calls. There is information in the live stream video that I did yesterday with the, or Monday maybe, with the dev team. A bunch of gamers were invited to a presentation, and he explained a lot of things like that. I think they have Linux working, but it's going to only be for the Pro version, and I'm sure they have reasons why. I don't know what they are. So most games turn stuff off when you accelerate. This one doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder if there's a way somehow that they could prioritize stuff and find some things they can turn off for time compression. I'm not going to live or die by having time compression. But I think being able to go up to 4x would be pretty cool. Apparently I'm still at 2x. That's encouraging. Yes, I'm at 2x. It's ticking pretty fast. I guess I could join the Navy, and then I could find out how the Pro version works. That seemed like pretty extreme, though. Okay, we're at 2x. We're closing the range. Uncle Neil's got to get up and go get a Dr. Pepper. I will be back. Dr. Dystopia. Are you in the Navy? You're not one of the subsim members that I'm familiar with, like Ping Jockey, are you? I think Ping Jockey's out of the Navy now. You know, I'm just joking. I'm not going through boot camp. That would kill me, man. I'm too old and fat for that. I'll drop back down here. I'm getting kind of nervous. I know I'm closing the range. Four miles. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You're the Kawasaki man. That's 2008's a long time ago, though. There's no way I remember anything from 2008. It's a weird circle in the middle there. I don't know what that's coming from. That might be the light reflecting off of the ship's lighting. Johan, oh, you can't beat that. No, man. All right, let's see here. Time to change things up a little bit. F2. Let's slow down and then move up. Rip. Hey. It's the Mr. Sea Power Cold Waters. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, time for a quick commercial. I have to pay the bill somehow, and I'm not nearly big enough to get sponsors. So I want to plug my book. Yes, Neil Stevens, me. I wrote a novel, and it's published. It's on Amazon, and it's only $8 for the Kindle EPUB, $12 for the hardcover. And I would like to see if I could get a few people to buy it. You buy this book, you make me famous, I'll be on Netflix. I'll definitely get an upgraded version of Das Boot underway. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember you now. Wow. Yeah, you sent me the picture, but I was scratching my head trying to remember who was in the picture. Or, okay, I remember you now. Dang, man. It's good to see you again, Doc. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I know so many people through this subsim thing that sometimes I get names, real names, and events and usernames. It's kind of a jumble for me sometimes. But yeah, I remember you, dude. It's good to see you again. You're knee deep in modern naval warfare. You're my coach now. Yeah, Wilhelm is the man. He is a cool dude. I remember when Cold Waters had just come out, he asked me to help him get some crew voices, and I really enjoyed that. I solicited some volunteers from the subsim community and made some crew voices, and Wilhelm went through and improved all the quality of the recordings, and they put them in the game, and I was really proud of that. The game actually had people from the community in it. I thought that was cool as hell. Yeah, you're right, Doc. I would, probably. You might have to slap me a couple times, but I'd remember you. All right, let's get back to the game here. Where did I leave off? Going slow. Okay, depth, 55. It's going to take a while to get to that depth since I'm going slow. I'll speed up a little bit. And the other thing is, Dangerous Waters was great, but the last time I played it, I noted how dated the graphics were. Ships didn't look nearly as good as what I, kind of remembered they looked like, because everything improves over time. So modern naval warfare is going to be an improvement because I think the graphics are better. Well, I respect you for that, buddy. I respect you. Nils is always taking care of the community. And I think that's one of the things that's been a notable shift in submarine games since the 80s is in the old days, you had a development team and a producer. They made the game, and that was it. And after Silent Hunter 5 faded out, we didn't get any more Ubisoft or Solus level games. But instead, we got people like Killerfish and Usurpator, or whoever Wolfpack's developer name is, Usurpator. Can't pronounce it. But those guys set out. And then U-Boat, I think, is a small development team. And Modern Naval Warfare was two guys with a vision and a lot of sense. Yeah, I still like Fast Attack. It's the music, although it adds a game element flavor to it, but Fast Attack's music was great. I played it that way because I just liked it. The entertainment value more than simulation value. As soon as your torpedo had locked on, you got a target acquired, the music would kick into high gear. Who's going to say they don't like that? That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I actually got to interview one of the developers of Fast Attack. This was years after the game had come out and disappeared, but I tracked one of them down and got a chance to interview him for one of the submarine almanacs that we did. Yes, there are hotkeys. So we have F1. Give me a second to get back to the game here. Okay, Myler, you ready? F1 takes us to the just the walk-around position. F2, the pilot. F3, I think that's like the captain's console or something. It's got a variety of different screens on it you can pick through. F4 is your general map station. F5 is your sonar. F6 is your photonic mask station. F7, I think, is the ESM. Yep, ESM. F8 is the radar, and F9 is your fire control. And let's see, I've got my cheat sheet printed out and taped on my monitor. F10 is the radio station, which I haven't used yet. And then you have the home key for your external views. Home is your own ship. I don't see anything. Where'd I go? I'm stuck. Let me turn this off. And you have page up and page down for your different ships to look at. That guy sunk. There ought to be two sunk ships. I wonder if he's under the water now. There we go. Got it working again. That guy's moving, but that guy's not. I can't wait for he's got a mark. I've hit him at least once. Can't wait for the day when they have a ship with a crew member throwing up over the side. All right, so those are your hotkeys. Is it possible to change the symbols of... Oh, I don't think so. At least not unless there's a mod coming out for it later. That's one thing I would love to get involved in, is creating mods for this game, but I don't know how far that's going to get yet. We'll see. Right now, the developers are being very open-minded and paying close attention to the all the community about things about this game. In fact, in the early access announcement, they went out of their way to say that they're going to be working with smart, knowledgeable members of the community to improve the game. So that doesn't mean they'll do everything everybody wants, of course, but they will be open to those ideas. Dimitros, hey, I missed you the other day. That was your brother, right? That was your brother I talked to Monday. Dimitrios, you got a great game here, man. No bugs. I haven't had a crash yet. I don't think I've had any kind of bugs to speak of. All right, well, it's good to see you again. Thank you for your work, my friend. Yeah, it is an achievement. It is a big achievement to get this far. Wow, the developer popped in to see if we're behaving. Glad you guys weren't saying anything bad. There isn't anything to say bad about this game. So far, it's exceeded my expectations. All right, let's get back to the action here. Let's see, where did I leave off? I was going to close the range. My depth is good. All right, let's go to our mast. Let's raise our mast. Back off our zoom. Okay, a little bit higher. A little bit higher. There we go. All right, where did those guys go? Oh, yeah, there's one. Now, I don't know if it's the same guy or not. It might be. It looks like it says that's V2. And V3. That guy's V3, possibly. He might have moved forward a little bit. What do you think? Is that V3 or should we start over? I'm going to start over, so let's see here. V3, goodbye. And we're going to call this guy V4. It'd be a lot easier if the ships were different kinds of ships that I could easily recognize, and I'd say, oh yeah, that's V1, V2. These ships look very similar, if not the same. All right, so we need a new contact, and we need to range him, and we need to say his angle on the bow looks like about 130, and he's a surface neutral, and we're going to say he's going 6 knots. We're going to line up the crosshairs, and V4 should now show up on our fire control. V4 it is, fire control. There's V4. Beautiful. V4, 1.2 knots. This all looks pretty good. Bang. Okay, we are going to leave him alone for a while. We're going to go back and look at V2. V2. I think that's the one that we hit. That's the warship. He's still on the surface, though. Let's take a look at him. Okay, that is not V2, is it? This is where you need to write down on a piece of paper what your contacts relate to, because I forgot whether V1 was a surface ship combatant, V2 was a combatant. I don't remember now. I don't remember who I shot and how many times I shot him. I focus a lot better when I'm not talking. Trust me. That's what my girlfriend says. Okay. I don't know if that's V2 or not. Let's see what the chat says. Chat's got all kinds of stuff going on. We are coming with more people. Excellent. Real propagation. Okay. Somebody speaking Italian. NB, I don't know what that means. Yeah, Navy blunt crisp. Possible to track purely on acoustics. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah, he definitely puts the system at the limits. He's probably got stock in Nvidia. Okay, so that's back to the game. Let's track who I'm tracking and where. That shows to be V4, according to this. There's nobody in front of him, is there? Nope, there's V4 up there. That's V4. I'll go ahead and get another track on him. Another mark. All right, angle of the bow is the same. I'll get a range. It didn't change much as you would expect, and mark. Okay, that's V4. We've got 2 marks on him. Let's go back to this guy. We're going to go ahead and call him V2, I think. Maybe V1 was that enemy escort. All right, got to change this to V2. That's very important. Don't forget that. Get a range on him. Angle of the bow looks like it's about 75. Speed, you know he's going something, so we're going to put 4. Yeah, V1, V2 was the enemy ship because it's still got that marked. We're going to change him over to this. See what happens. V2 is now surface combatant. Okay. V4. Holy cow. There's a mark here. I have no idea what that is. Yep. This is what happens when you're talking and not paying attention to what you're doing. We're going to make Tube 1 ready with a Mark 48 ad cap torpedo. I'm going to go ahead and knock all this out. Tube 1. It's going to be V4 because I know who he is. All right. Apply all that information. Go back to this screen. Go to our loading Tube 1. It's going to be V4. No, what did I say it was? V4, yeah. Assign the solution. 7,000 meters away, so we're going to start at 6,000. High speed, because I'm always in a hurry. Don't care about any of this. Change the running depth to 100 meters. 50 for the search. Update. Okay, we're focusing on V4. Don't care about this guy back here because I can't remember who he is. V4, Tube 1, fire. Good night, Demetrios, and thank you again, bub. All right, switch over here. Now, Dr. Dystopia tells me I can steer my torpedo by changing something. Let me go back into the text and see what he said. I'm in the hands of the streamer. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Fast attack. Ah, here we go. Steer, steer. You can steer it. It's done by changing your solution and pressing X. We're correcting new solution. Okay. All right. I think I understand how that works. So I need to go back in here and change my solution. and then I can steer it. Because if I change the solution, this guy will pop over here, and this guy will go for the new one. Oh no, oh no, I screwed up somehow. He's going off in a completely wrong direction. Why? Why? 21V4, I assigned that solution. And V4 solution is right here, so why is he going down this way? Dr. Dystopia, where are you? Dr. Dystopia, if you're not there, I just wasted another torpedo. That's my second one. Know that the CNO is going to be pissed. Tube 1. Tube 1, V4. There's why is it going this way? That doesn't make any sense at all to me. Okay, well, I assigned the solution to V4. He should turn, right? Oh yeah, maybe I got something wrong in the setup, but I didn't see it. Now my own torpedoes gonna start pinging me now. You know that's not good. Okay. Here we go. Any minute now, I'm going to start getting pings. Oh yeah, it hadn't been enabled, has it? Good. Don't enable it to go past me, buddy. I said 6,000 yards, so it's got 4,000 to go, according to this. Dang lucky you have access to the game. Yes, sir, I am lucky. I'm lucky as hell. But I only had access for it 4 days ahead of you. Maybe 5. Careful with that torp looking at you. You're right, Mazel. That's what I'm thinking. I got a big old loop of wire running around here like this. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how I set it up wrong, though. I guess I'll watch the video back and see my mistake. But I have my target motion analysis set. V4 is right here. And then I have my torpedo mission planner, target motion analysis, whatever it's called. I had tube 1 set to V4. But my torpedo took off this way instead. All right. Where was V4 when you assigned the solution? Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it on the video. I'm sure I made a mistake. It's time for my disclaimer. As everyone knows, I say it often enough. I do not claim to be an expert in this game or any submarine game, really. I'm just an enthusiast. I like playing them and I like seeing them succeed. You should reduce speed then evade to the left. You're trying to get me hit, aren't you? I know that. Mazel, is this my ex-wife? Trying to get me hit. This is telling me 1,500 meters or yards. Now, what does that mean? 1,500 yards since it left or 1,500 yards till impact? Estimated target range. Because I know this thing's going to go active pretty soon. I wonder if I can reset this. Let's change this. Update presets. Now it won't go active. Ah, this is sweet, baby. It's lining right up on where I have it marked. All right, let's go to the mast and find V4, weapon 4, V2. Where are you, V4? Now, that's V4, right? Whoa. Periscope's a little tricky. All right. V4. I got to mark this V4. Maybe this is where I got a problem. Maybe I had that set wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I don't ever play these games and I run my mouth at the same time. I usually yaw 6 my brain cells to concentrate. All right, angle on the bow has got to be something close to 160 now, 155. And mark. All right, that's V4. Go back to TMA. Okay. V4, that's my mark I just took. Now, do I need to apply this again or leave it alone? Sensor age, 16 seconds. I hadn't seen that before. That's good. I like that. It means my sensor is new. I think it means the mile away from you. Yeah, it probably is. Probably is. All right, so I'm behind the weapon now. So if I go to my torpedo, let me check my tubes. Everything's fine. Still got the wire. Wait a minute. Do I still have a wire? Yeah, I guess I do. It'll say wired lost or wire disconnected. Now, update presets, enable torpedo. Now, does enable torpedo mean it turns on its sonar, but it doesn't start searching? Well, let's hope that's what it means. All right. Time to impact, 57 seconds. So, time to impact, about 57 seconds. And we're going to go ahead and take a look here if we can find the right ship. Which one is it? Is it this guy got one off behind it somewhere? Or is it this guy's got one off behind it somewhere? I want to say it's this guy, but how do you tell? Let me look at the ship real close. It's got two horizontal kajiggers on it, and this guy has two horizontal kajiggers. We only got two ships, so one of them is going to get hit, or at least I hope it will. We'll see. Should be coming in from starboard side. So we will see. Of course, this just depends on how accurate my targeting was. Let's go back to our target. Uh-oh, it's real close now. It's real close. It's either there or it's past it. Oh, baby. I have a bad feeling it's past it. Let's see here. I'm going to do that again, see what happens. Torpedo has acquired. Lining up on that dot right there. Yeah, baby, I'm very confident now. I'm very, very confident. Why is it not going straight to this? Because this is a little bit, like he said, it's old information. One of the chatters said that's old information. Yeah, I should have updated that. But the torpedo itself, I believe, is in acquiring mode. Oh, yes, it's shallow, too. One of these guys is about to get hit. That's going to be cool. But I don't know which one, because they look exactly the same. Need stretch V4 to hit the last observed position. That's right. Maru, I agree with you. I wonder if I can cheat and look up over the water. Yeah, baby, here comes trouble. I've got about, I'd say 20 seconds or so to go. So yeah, my exactly right. That is exactly right. This should be up there. But I don't know which one I'm about to hit. That's the trick. Can't wait for the mission editor. I'll be able to, I don't see any other ships. I'll be able to put vanilla, chocolate, strawberry ships in there, and that way I can tell what's about to happen. I mean, I'm playing this for testing mode. I'm not playing this like I'm really in a mission. I'm playing this for the figure out how the game works and get better at it. All right, Cactus, I'll try to do that. Remind me again in a few seconds here. Oh, here comes the boom. Oh, people are wetting their pants on that ship now. Booyah. Oh, right on the aft section too. I took out his rudder and his screw, and now he's trying to pop a wheelie. All right, let's see here. What do you want to go look at? The sonar. Sonar, washed out. Let's see here. Which total rate? Yeah, well, I don't know if it's washed out or not. That total rate is not deployed. This one is. Change the time scale. What about WAA? I don't really see anything. And I don't know if it's washed out or if it's just it's overshadowed by the torpedo, or if it's just so close. I don't know. Oh God, Jive Turkey, where are you when I need you? Let's see, where were we? Not him, not him, not him, not him. Him. Somebody make a note of that. Uncle sunk a ship. I think that's the second one or third one in this mission. Yeah, I would think a bigger blob too, but I'm not going to second guess. I've never been on an actual submarine when a torpedo hit a ship. I did mention in my feedback that whether it's realistic or not, I would like to have some kind of acoustic trigger or signal that lets you know when you hit something, like a low, deep booming sound delayed by the time it takes water to sound to travel in water. I think that would be cool. But that worked pretty good. Let me go back to my torpedo screen now. Okay, so V4 is sunk. All right, so this is important. Here is your contact management. V4, we sank it, so we're going to hit the minus, and it is gone. Now all we show is V2. And V2 such an old contact, I don't even remember what it is. It's gone. Now I have no contacts. I can start all over and put new contacts. But what I want to do before I close this stream, because I've been on the air for a long time, so I want to hit something with some harpoons. Okay. All right, this guy right here, he looks like he's asking for it. And there's a guy behind him too. So I could probably hit him with 2 harpoons. New target. Range him. He's close. Okay, angle on the bow, 0. Speed doesn't really matter unless he changes course. And for the fun of it, we're going to call him Blue. We'll say that's a guy that owes us money from the Navy. Okay, mark him. V5, right? V5. Go to the torpedo management. Let's go to this one. V5, right there. He's behind us. I guess our harpoons can turn around. V5, la 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 la. Okay, apply that information. And we still have the mission. ASM2. Okay, we need a new mission. Get rid of all that junk. And he's so close, harpoon barely has time to move. New mission, ASM3. Altitude, ham, blah, blah, blah. All right, new. We're just going to turn on the seeker about right here. Save it. Remember that, ASM5. Go to the tubes. Go to the tubes. Let's see here. We got harpoons. Oh, crap, only got one. Can't do that one. So we got to empty this tube. Load this tube. Remember, I have the realism setting set to where it won't, it doesn't take long to load. That's what we want. So we're going to get our weapon ready. Flood. Open the door. Flooding interlock. Oh yeah, got to close this one. Yeah, we'll make that. All right, open the door. Okay. Go to our harpoon screen. All right, we want mission 3, remember? That's the one we want. Assign the mission. All right, go back to tubes. No mission. Let's see, what am I forgetting here? Tube 4 is mission 3, and now tube 3 is mission 3. Okay, go back to the tubes. Door open, door open. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Just to please the home crowd. What do we need here? Is that us? Yeah, that's us. This is going to be so cool. You're going to love me. You're going to love me for it. All right. About right there. Active 9. Fire. Fire. Back to F6. And here comes the magic. Wait a minute, what happened? What did I do wrong? That is no good. Did I push the wrong button? Did I not fire? Fire limitations active. Oh, I haven't seen this before. What does that mean? Firing limitations inactive. Am I too deep, too shallow? All right. I know my crew is looking over their shoulder at me now. I'm going too fast. Boink. Let's just say I'm going too fast. That was just a test. That was only a test to see if the systems worked right. Okay, everybody understand that, right? I meant to do that. Firing limitations active. Well, let's unarm it. I don't like to see that. My thin human processing capability, yeah, indeed. All right, now we're going to arm it. We're going to arm it. We're going to arm it. No, we're not going to arm it. Okay, go back. Tube 3 ASM1. No, we want 3. Hell, that damn ship's going to be right on top of us by the time we fire. All right, go back to tubes. Arm it. Still doesn't want to let me arm it. Interesting. Harpoon. Got the right assigned mission. Maybe it's too close. Maybe I'm activating it too close. I do not know. Let me pull this up. What's the range on this guy? 6,000 yards? Well, I'll have to go look at the manual, see what the range limitation is, but I got a feeling that's it. But you know what? I want to launch these things anyway. So, let's see if that works. Boink. Boink. All right, still got the same mission for tube 3 and 4. Yep. Go back to the tubes. Will it let me arm it? I don't know. Maybe I have to do this completely off. Make tube ready. I'm going to do one. May as well do both of them, right? All right, TMA. TMA. All right, got to make the tube ready. Make the tube ready. Let's go back. Assign tube 4 to mission number 3. I would love to change that, but I don't want to. Tube 3 to mission 3. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. Let's flood. Okay, I will show the SSP screen. Just remind me in a minute here. Now, do I have a mission? Seems like it works. Maybe you have to cycle back through that again. All right, let's see the magic. Show me the magic. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, if you're on a fishing boat a couple miles down the road, you know that's got to be intimidating as hell. Baby. All right, that was beautiful. Who did I shoot that at? I forgot. Oh, I only have 3 ships left to shoot. And that one I shot at was right on top of me, I believe. So I don't know if this is actually going to work, because I wasn't really being too serious about it. He's turning a lot, so he must be going back to my stern. I wonder if we can see the harpoon zero in on him. All right, I think this is the ship I was aiming at. I think it was coming straight at me. So the harpoon should be coming from this direction, I believe. All right, we'll do this, and then we will check the SSP, and then I will take the sub to the highest speed and the deepest depth and see what happens. We will hit crush depth and die. Go down in a blaze of glory. I didn't look to see how long the running time on those harpoons was. Got a bad feeling, though. Whoop, he's turning. He looks like he's got something in mind. He's wiggling around, too, but he's not anywhere near a ship that I can see. Yeah, I think I just wasted 2 harpoons. Harpoons are usually really easy, but that guy was right on top of me, and then I had all that firing limitation stuff to deal with. And harpoons, I don't think they show up in any menu for you to keep your eyes on. No. So once you fire them, they're on their way, independent of everything that you're doing. There's no wire-guided harpoons. Uh-oh. Hope that's not an instant fishing boat, because that would be terrible for him. All right. Which way is he coming? From this way or that way? We'll see. We got a 50-50 chance, right? Yeah. If harpoons are too close, I think you're pretty much asking for trouble. Man, I don't want to switch back to the harpoon view. I'll miss it. Oh, it looks like somebody's smoking over here. I probably hit the wrong ship, right? Well, my harpoons are gone. That guy doesn't look damaged. That guy is the guy I hit earlier, I believe, because he was not moving. And I must have hit this guy with the harpoons, because he's sporting some black stuff on top. Is that normal? I don't know. Well, I'll be doggone. That's me there, I think. It must be getting dark. When it gets dark, you can't see anything under the water. Is that me? Nope, that's me there. So that must be a torpedo that's sitting on the bottom or something. Or it's a whale, like 1,000,000 meters deep. Okay, what was the request? To go to the SSP. Which one of these is the SSP? Is this one? Nope. Forgot which one it is. Nope. 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 This one. Yeah, I think that's it. No, that's the demon. Okay, I don't know which one's the SSP. I'll have to go back and look at the manual. I have not spent a lot of time in the sonar section. All right. Well, well, well. Let's close our torpedo tubes. Okay. And then let's go to see how deep it is. And it's deep enough to where we can commit hara-kiri. All right, we're going to lower the mast because even though we're about to self-destruct, we don't want to damage the mast. All right, flank speed. Let's see if we cavitate too. I think there's an alarm that goes off for cavitating. I don't remember. Yeah, Anderson, the learning curve is not terrible. I think you go through the guide and you look at the videos. I think you'll be able to figure out how to play it. The trick for me is there's not a lot of information on how to play it. It's trial and error. So I'm doing things, but I don't know how accurate it is. Hello, Love Blackpink. You have a subsim name I might recognize you by? Mazel, what do you mean? Nope, 6, the button. What does that mean? Okay, we're going 25 knots at 55 meters. We ought to have a cavitating alert from something. I think that light indicates cavitating, but I don't know. If it was me, I would think we got a red dot on now. That's even more cavitating. Looks like double cavitating. When you were on the sonar for the SSP, 6 button, he says. Okay, let me go look. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That says tactical decision aid, but yeah, I think you're right. That's the SSP. I haven't used it. I haven't used it. All right, back to the matter at hand. We're going to stress test this submarine. Order depth. Let's see here. They're all kind of emergency deep, which is not really that deep. Active cavitate, heading depth. All right. Let's see if it'll let us go that deep. Now let's go 1500 first. I don't know if the game will let us go. Press SSP, then ray trace. Okay, let's try that. I think I know what you're talking about now. I think I've seen that. I've seen that. Ray trace. Ray trace, there we go. Draw tip, draw SSP. Digger. Yeah, I love this game. I love it. It hasn't crashed. I've been playing it for what, 2-3 hours? I haven't seen any kind of crashes or glitches to speak of. I think it could be me, but I think a while back, maybe a few days ago, I had some problem with the periscope. It wouldn't raise when I thought it should. And, but that might have been just me not playing it right. But I haven't seen any real terrible bugs or anything that makes me think, oh, God, that's terrible. All right. The AI will prevent you and limit to max depth for that speed. Okay, click on the map. Ray trace. All right, there's my ray trace. And there's my little figures. That looks cool. No idea what it means, but it looks cool. Click map. Click the map. Click my ray trace. Let's see if I can set ray trace again. Yep. Draw ray trace. There you go. Mazel, I have a mission for you. Uh-oh. That sounds real impressive. Sound like the hull is creaking. Oh shit, that does not sound good. I'm scared to touch the F key now. How deep are we? Oh baby. Of course we can't see anything that deep. I can't see anything. You can forget about looking at your sub when you're that deep. Do you guys hear that, or is it just me? Somebody tell me they can hear that creaking and groaning. Hey, hey, wake up. Do you hear that? Come on, pay attention. Something's wrong. I hear some noises. What's going on? Dude, what are you trying to do? Get us killed? All right. So I can't go below 1,200 feet. Apparently, I have this ordered for 2,000. See what happens. Oh, it's loud, but I like it loud. I don't want any mistake as far as what's happening. All right, let's see if I can manually extend the planes. Let me look at this over here a little bit. I'm going to open up my valves. They automatically shut, but I'm going to leave them open. Trim. I want to flood the boat some way, because I know if I get hit by an enemy missile, I'll yeah, that's right, I remember that speed depth envelope. I remember that. I wasn't paying any attention to it, but now I remember. Adjust, lock, rudder, keypad, manual, rudder, stern planes, bow planes. What's OTB stand for? OTBD. Outboard, inboard, secure, manual. I wonder what happens when I click all this stuff. Secure. Uh-oh. I don't seem to have any way to adjust any of this stuff. These are just readouts only, I think. Too bad. Won't be able to find out how we die. We'll go ahead and close these. They're not doing anything. Total line cut. Oh, I think we cut the we cut the total array. One of you guys is going to have to pay for that. I'm not paying for it. This was your idea. Let's go back here. All right, we're going to try to see if we can surface in a hurry. Let's see what happens when we click emergency surface. I wonder if I put -50, it'll do it. Let me see, there's another screen here somewhere. Where is it? I forgot where it is. Not that. No, I can't remember where it is. What's our depth? We're coming up. Pitch. Can't change any of this stuff. Too bad. I could really mess with it. Let's see. We'll unsecure this. Automate this. Mercy blow. Yeah. Mercy blow. I've got chicken switches up here somewhere. Let's see what happens when I do that. Well, not letting me do it. Oh, there it went. Just gotta click it. All right. Got my chicken switches engaged. How deep are we now? Ooh, we're getting close. If I can just find me. There we are. Oh, baby. Get that out of here. We'll scroll back a little bit. Manual helm controls high on my list. I don't guess we really need them. I mean, there's not any kind of operations that we're going to do other than showing off the fishing boats. It's not high on my priority list. I think I expect the submarine to behave like it's submarine. Here we go. The money shot. A little bit anticlimactic, I'd say. It needs to kick out a little higher. Maybe next time I'll set the depth for a minus. Nope, don't have that option. All right. Wonder how fast I can back up. Let's see here. Let's go back to home. Isn't there a overlay? Where's the overlay? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So how fast are we going? Where's my speed? I don't remember. This? STW, steering way? SOG? We'll crank it up. Go backwards now. That's something we should try. We should go to all the way to the maximum depth and then go backwards as fast as we can. Maybe it'll override some of the automation and it'll go too deep. Hey, good idea. Let's test the radar. All right, let me see here. Backing up, we're going to go back so that they don't think we're idiots. We're going to go back to a normal thing. Radar. Haven't used the radar. Raise the mast. There's our radar mast coming up. This is as close as you can get to the submarine. Looks like we're still going backwards. All right, radar. Heads up, trails off, chart fill, range rings. Alarm, select target, transmit. Okay, LP, AFC, auto. None of that stuff tells me anything. Standby, transmit, track target, cursor, target select, no target selected. SOG is speed over ground. Oh, yay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was steering way. Speed over water, speed over ground. All right, Doc, good to talk to you again. LP is low power. Low power off, low power on. Does this do anything up here? That's just readouts, heads up, chart fill. 12 nautical miles. Let's go out range, transmit. Nope, that's not what I want. Well, I don't see any targets. How do I zoom in? Let's take a look here. Zoom button. Don't see anything. No alarms. No targets. Cursor. Do not know. Do not know. Yeah, LP for low power. I got you. I got you. But I don't see any way. I don't really. Oh, wait a minute. Something's happening up here. Maybe it's even further than 48 nautical miles. I don't think so. Okay, transmit. Multiplayer mission editor. Yeah, mission editor especially for me. Multiplayer, I mean, I know there are people that love it, and that's great, but I've had enough multiplayer experience with Wolfpack to know that it's you have to be really good about getting people that you can play with to get anything out of it. But I do like the fact that you can save and load games. So if you're playing a game and you're not in a hurry and you want to save it and go do something, come back, you can do that with this game. I think that's essential. And mission editor is a real big high priority for me, always is. Give us a mission editor where we can set up missions and put them in a community that you can, as a player, you can choose a mission without knowing anything that's going to happen other than the briefing, and experience that mission without any foreknowledge of what's going on. I think that's really important. Hey, if your 5060 gets murdered, I'm in trouble, because that's what I have coming in a few days. I hope it'll handle it. This is a 2060 Super. It's doing okay. I mean, I can live with this. Okay, my man. I think that's it for this one. Let me show you the mission exit. This is pretty cool. This tells you if you failed, succeeded, shows what happened. I destroyed a bulk carrier. I destroyed another bulk carrier. I destroyed one of the two ships. So even though the one I destroyed didn't sink, it was destroyed. Of course, all this is not filled out because these are, I guess, temporary missions. And you have your replay. You got your mission log readout. And here you can put true data on or off the map. You can put your tags on and off the map. And this is your sensor data, which tells you what you thought stuff, where you thought stuff was. And that is really helpful. So this shows us when the mission started, we had a ship up here, and we had 4 ships here. This ship, I'm guessing, was our commercial shipping, random commercial shipping. Now this guy was hauling ass, and I think we got him with a harpoon. All right, so that is this ship here. That's where we thought it was. That's where it really was. Let's just assume that. These are the ships. I haven't marked them in TMA yet. We looked at them, but we didn't mark them. Keep things from getting too complicated. So that's where I thought it was, and that's where it really was. And then this is this ship here. Obviously, it's not moving, which is weird, but I had it moving slowly, even though it wasn't. All right, so let's move a little bit more forward. Now I sent a torpedo after this one, and I don't know, did I hit it? Let's see, this is true data. Sensor data. Okay, so true data is right here. Torpedo went past the true data. I don't know. That's a good question. These guys are still going. These are the 2 cargo ships. Of course, we've got one cargo ship that, I don't remember, it's off the map. No, it's right here. That's it. And the enemy ship, the enemy warship, one of them was way out in front, and then this one was never moving, which is kind of messed up. So move a little bit further. There's me continually updating the sensor data, but it's not moving. All right, that's where I sent out 2 torpedoes, one for this guy and one for one of those. The game will have a campaign. They say it will ship with a 18 mission campaign. It's branched, which means I suppose if you finish one mission, the second mission may go off on a branch for A to B. I don't know. I don't know anything about that yet. I'm not going to speculate. All right, keep going. Torpedo, torpedo, torpedo. So right there, the torpedo switched from my sensor data to the real thing. It picked up the real ship that wasn't moving, and it hit it. And meanwhile, my sensor data was right on for this guy. I think we only used visual data, so it shouldn't be too far off. So this torpedo's going, and then it activated too early, I guess. And it's just searching. And then it died. And then Dr. Dystopia explained to me how some of this works. So I launched another torpedo or something. Maybe it was a harpoon. And that's the sunk ship. Yeah, that's where I launched another torpedo. And I watched the video and see, but I guess I have it set for the wrong ship. But Dr. Dystopia said, no, you can fix that. You just change the solution. The torpedo will accept the new solution. And it did. And it hit this ship right there. Beautiful. And then what else? I think we tested a couple of harpoons. Whoa. Yep. Tested a couple of harpoons on the ship that I hit several times. or not. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's scroll out a little bit. No, I hit that cargo ship. Didn't we see that or not? I don't remember. And then we did some emergency maneuvers here. But the harpoons obviously launched, made a full 360 and came back. Whether they hit anything or not, I do not know. But anyway, that is today's live stream of modern naval warfare. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the suggestions. And as always, I appreciate your time. Good hunting, and don't forget to close the hatch.